Nonverbal delivery is so important in a presentation. Again, thinking back to your reading, your audience tends to interpret the majority of your message through nonverbal cues. So you have to constantly think about, what message am I sending? Whether it be through eye contact, facial expressions, gestures, body movement, appearance, so on and so forth. Nonverbal delivery can enhance your speech, meaning that it can draw people in and make them want to listen. If you're not paying attention and someone starts looking at you and it brings you back in, it's helping to enhance your speech. If you say, I'm going to discuss point number 1, or this is my first main point, and you hold up one finger, again, you're enhancing your speech. You can also distract away from your message or detract from your verbal message, meaning that swaying, tapping on the podium, playing with your note cards, looking down and not giving eye contact, slumping over, all send signals, but it can also become so much the focus of the presentation that people start not paying attention to what you're actually saying. It can complement, meaning that if you're talking about the second main point and you hold up 2 fingers, you're complimenting because not only are you hearing 2, but you're seeing 2, so you know you're in the second main point. It can contradict if you say yes, but you shake your head no. And it can also substitute. If you hold up again one finger and you don't say anything, again, it can help you let a person know you're talking about the first point in your presentation. So we're going to work our way through here. Eye contact, physical delivery, facial expressions, and personal appearance. Let's begin with eye contact. Eye contact, so very important. It helps to establish your credibility as a speaker. It lets your audience know that you're interested in communicating with them. Eye contact allows you to maintain your audience's attention. If you're not paying attention and someone starts looking at you, your natural instinct is to tune back into what they're saying. And it also allows you to see the nonverbal cues being sent from your audience. If someone's nodding their head, you know they're agreeing with you. Or if they're shaking their head, you know that they disagree. Or if they have a look of confusion, you know you may want to step back and reiterate the information or clarify your meaning so they get it. So some rules to follow. Try to establish eye contact with your entire audience. Don't focus on one section of the room or one person. You really need to kind of move around and make eye contact with everyone. Look them directly in the eye. In small classrooms, it's very easy to tell when someone's looking at your forehead or if they're glancing over your head at the back wall or out the window. So having direct eye contact is very, very important. Now, physical delivery. Physical delivery has to do with anything that your body is doing during your speech. And the idea is that you want it to enhance your presentation and help to clarify your meaning. So whenever it comes to gestures, it needs to be very natural, and it needs to help reinforce what you're saying. So I always like to say, if you're using note cards, hold those note cards in one hand and leave your other hand free to give natural gestures throughout your speech. Your movement. Any type of movement in your speech should serve some type of purpose. If you have movement going on, such as kicking your leg around, bobbling up and down, tapping your fingers, it becomes distracting, and we tend to focus on those movements. So make sure they have a purpose. So as an example, make use of your space. Walk over and talk near one side of the room, remembering to give eye contact to everyone. Engage that side. And then as you transition, walk to the other side of the room. Again, that movement of transitioning and walking complements one another. Making use of your space helps to engage and pull people in. And then your posture, it needs to be very natural and professional. You don't want to slump over. Slumping over seems as though perhaps you don't know what you're talking about. It can help lessen your credibility as a speaker. But on the reverse, you don't want it to be too stiff. And that's why I say a very natural, professional posture is needed. Your facial expressions help to add emotion and add emphasis to what you're saying. Your facial expressions help to set the tone of your presentation, which is very nice. Through a speaker's facial expressions, you understand if they are interested in what they're saying. But again, you need to make sure that they complement your verbal message. An example where you could have a disconnect. If you're discussing cancer and you're smiling from ear to ear and you seem extremely happy, it can cause a little problem because your audience would be wondering, why is this person so happy about cancer? Your personal appearance also constantly sends messages about who you are, even if you don't want it to. Your appearance is very important. I'm not asking you to get dressed in a 3-piece suit to give your presentation. But think about what your appearance says. If you have a lot of logos or art on a shirt, people tend to focus on that and look at that. And if they're looking at that, they may be missing your message. If you're wearing high heel shoes and you're moving around on a hardwood floor, the clink, 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 clink may be of a distraction. You don't want your hair to be in your eyes, so pull your bangs back. Avoid large, gaudy jewelry. And just think about appearance in this way. If you walk into a doctor's office and the doctor comes in and has overalls on and cowboy boots, what would be your first impression of that doctor? That's what you kind of want to think. What is my appearance communicating? And you want to make sure that it's not distracting. So here's some major delivery problems I see a lot when I hear students' speeches. One is that they read their presentation opposed to delivering their presentation. Again, we don't want to see manuscript style delivery. We want to have that extemporaneous or conversational delivery. Also, keep in mind that if you're reading to us, it's very boring. We want to be brought into your speech, and we want to listen. Think about your physical appearance. The main things I see is hair being in your face or eyes. If I can't see your eyes, then how do I know if you're giving me eye contact or not? This is the same with hats during presentations. What are you saying if you have sunglasses on your head? And almost, why don't you just take them off? Sunglasses gives too much of a casual kind of atmosphere. And make sure that you are giving facial expressions that show that you're interested. I know I'm saying this a lot, but if you're not interested in what you're saying, I'm not going to be interested either. And as far as physical delivery goes, problems that I see: fidgeting, swaying, pacing back and forth, playing with note cards, crossing your arms in front of your body or putting your hands in your pocket, leaning across the podium. All of these can be distracting, or it can communicate that you don't care about the presentation. So always remember, you cannot not communicating, so it's inescapable, and communication can be very complicated. So what are your nonverbals?